I've recently got a brand new racket, and this is from the Tecnifibre range. This is the TF X1 300, and it is a great looking racket, as you can see. The strings that I'm using in the Tecnifibre TF X1 300 is the Razor Code White, and these are the 1.25 millimeters by 24 kg in terms of the string tension, and this was pretty reasonable. I felt that this was very comforting for the racket as it provided me a lot of control. This racket is a very powerful racket with 60 by 19 strings, and it is 300 grams in weight. This racket has a X-damp system, and this provides the racket with a little bit more stability and control with a more open string bed pattern. The X-damp system provides a little bit more comfort and feel from the string bed and provides a little bit more stability. First of all, let's talk about the aesthetics. It's a very good looking racket. As you know, Tecnifibre rackets provide a lot of white rackets, and I really like the yellow tints on the racket as well, as you can see here. Since this is a very new racket to the market of Tecnifibre, only a few players are playing with this racket. One of them, most notably, is Corentin Moutet, who has changed from Wilson to Tecnifibre. From recently playing with the Tecnifibre racket, I found that this is a very powerful racket, and it's great for baseline players. Even though the power is generated from the racket is very great, I found that when you're hitting the ground strokes, you're able to get a lot of depth and feel of your shots too. What I found when serving is that you're able to get a lot of pop off the first serve and second serve. I found the second serve a little bit more easier to do with this type of racket, as I was allowed to get a lot more bite and spin on the ball. My kick serve worked wonderfully well alongside the slice serve too. I did find that I was losing a little bit of control off the flat serve on my first serve, but even that, I found that this is overall a great racket for powerful players, and it does provide a lot of comfort too. One of the downsides of a racket like this is that it does not provide enough stability and feel for the touch and control. So this would be things such as the drop shots as well as the volleys. I found that the ball popped off the racket quite fast. If I were to play with this racket for longer durations, I feel as though it would fit my game quite well. I'm quite an aggressive baseline player. I like to take the ball on very early as well and step into the court. What I do not do as much in my game is slice as much and always come to the net. But definitely I'd like to enforce that a little bit more and show you guys what this potential racket can gain when using it a little bit more. I highly encourage players to use this racket if they're looking for an extra power and pop off their shots, especially with developing a little bit more spin as well. If you're that type of player that likes to stay at the baseline, grind, hit heavy spin balls, then this would be a great selection racket for you. Also, if you're looking for a racket to develop a little bit more power rather than you having to put as much effort into the racket, then this would also be a great choice of racket for yourself too. Another downside when using this racket was that I found that the returns were quite difficult to do off this type of racket frame, as the balls would project really fast and fly very high. I didn't find that I could get that little extra control, so maybe absorbing it with a little bit of slice may have helped a little bit more. But as you can see, that since the racket is quite a thick beam, you're going to develop a lot more power from the racket, so you definitely don't need more power on your returns. You need to just absorb the power and take shorter take back swings rather than trying to add a bit too much power yourself. I have found this frame very easy to use, and it fits well in my own personal game. I recommend this racket for intermediate to advanced players looking to get a little bit more power on their shots. I would also say that this is a pretty arm-friendly racket, as you're able to develop a lot of power without actually hitting the ball too fast too. I hope you enjoyed my review of the Tecnifibre racket, and if you want me to review any other tennis rackets, then let me know in the comments below. But be sure to subscribe as well, it really helps my channel to grow, and stay tuned for more racket reviews and tennis content too. Take care guys, see you soon.